we'll move on to the next genre, which is thriller/horror. So, Graham, what was your favourite and least favourite thriller/horror of 2014?
Well, I'll start with my least favourite, which is The Babadook, which is an Australian horror movie, which I went to see on the basis of fantastic reviews. We're talking 5 stars across the board. And I'm at a loss to explain how anyone could possibly have come up with a 5-star review for this garbage. It doesn't have any genuine scares in it. I think it's trying to be creepy more than scary, and it fails at that as well, frankly. I don't know if either of you have seen it, but my recommendation is don't bother.
I did see it.
And
it did not make my worst. It wasn't good.
Well, I'll be curious to see what your worst is then, because it has to have gone something to beat The Babadook, I'm afraid.
It was not good, but it did not make my worst of the year. So, and your favourite then?
My favourite, I've gone for a film that, again, I'll admit it's not the best film of the year. There's probably better thrillers. Gone Girl was fantastic. But in terms of being my favourite, I'm going to have to say The Equalizer. Denzel Washington movie. I have a soft spot for these kind of revenge or vigilante thrillers. It's like a Seagal movie with better writing and better actors, and that's normally what's missing from a Steven Seagal movie, to be honest.
Can't argue that.
There's always room for a bit of this.
I tend to find
Chloe Moretz.
The best movie of that sort are the ones with the better actors, like the original Taken film or Man on Fire with Denzel. Just fantastic, because the acting's at a higher caliber.
Exactly. Chloe Grace Moretz is excellent as a kind of teenage prostitute. I mean, Denzel Washington, what can be said? He's always brilliant in whatever he's in. My only gripe with The Equalizer is that Denzel Washington has talked about it as they were going to see how it went and they would do a sequel if there was the appetite for it. And given that it was based on a TV show where The Equalizer was, I think it was New York, and he would respond to requests for help from people who were in trouble, and he would help them out. Given that in the first Equalizer movie he's taken out the East Coast Russian mafia, someone having problems with a noise complaint from their neighbour is not really going to cut it in the sequel. I don't know where they're going to go from here. But yeah, certainly I really enjoyed the first one.
Ali?
Yes.
Seriously?
Sorry.
Seriously?
Sorry.
you don't
Sorry,
know
I was on another planet there. Sorry, I was on another planet there, my bad.
Ali, what is your favourite and least favourite horror/thriller of 2014?
I'm afraid I didn't see any horrors last year. I only saw thrillers of last year, and the thriller that I saw and really caught my eye was a Chris Pine film, actually. It was Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit, which was about a young guy who appears to be an ordinary executive when he's actually working for the CIA, and he
the Tom Clancy novel, correct?
Yes, that's right, yeah. And I thought it was actually a brilliant film. It just had everything that you'd expect in a CIA thriller film, with a few little Easter eggs in it as well that you're thinking, to keep you thinking, keep you on your toes. Just overall really good film. But unfortunately, I don't have a worse one, because unfortunately 2014 I did not see an awful lot of films in the cinema last year, I'm afraid. But what I can do is go on what I've seen in a trailer, if that's alright.
No, it's not alright. It's not alright. You can't just say, I didn't like this trailer, so the film sucked. That's not alright at all. You're bad. You can sit in the dunce corner for a little while I talk about mine. Right, my favourite actually was Gone Girl. I thought it was fantastic. Ben Affleck was brilliant. The girl who played the female lead was brilliant. I cannot remember her name.
Rosamund Pike.
That's it. She was great. The story was very good. I know it's based on a book, but I thought it was a great adaptation from a book. I haven't read the book, so I didn't know what was coming. So I really, really enjoyed it. I can see why it's getting possible Oscar buzz. And my least favourite was a horror called Ouija, which was based on the board game, not as in the actual Ouija board. They released a board game called Ouija, which
I thought we were talking about possessed Glaswegians here.
is actually based on the Ouija board. So it was it was a horror based on this game, and it was just like, it was just ridiculous. Nothing scary about it whatsoever. There were a few bits in the cinema that were meant to be scary where I actually laughed out loud, and people were looking at me, and I'm like, I don't care. This is funny. This is just funny. It is not scary, but it wasn't funny as in meant to be funny. It was funny because
having seen the trailer, can I ask why you were enticed to go and see this movie?
I just went to the cinema. I didn't really care what I went to see. I was like, I'm going to go to the cinema.
Well, that'll teach you.
Yeah, that was on. But I like to do that because I just like to see as many films as I can, and sometimes I'll just show up and be like, I'll watch whatever's on, and that was on. So times just fit. I was like, yeah, I'll go see that. I'm quite happy to go and see it.
And yet you didn't see In-Betweeners 2.
I didn't have the time. It was a different month. So I was busy when In-Betweeners came out. So yeah,
okay.
Ouija, just not a good film at all. So there we go. Right, we will move on to the teen category then. And there were actually quite a lot of teen movies in 2014.
Hold on, I could only find 3. What else is there? Sorry, could you just list a couple?
I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I do remember, like, I went through all the movies I'd seen this year, and there were quite a few teen ones, or ones that could possibly be classed as a teen film. It's hard to put
hard to
a
define
genre
them
for these specific movies. Yeah, but right. So I will say my favourite one was Mockingjay Part 1, the third installment of the Hunger Games franchise. I think it's got a great cast, as have all 3 of them so far. I think everybody in it is very good. I've read the books, I know what's going to happen, but only read the books after seeing the first movie. And I really enjoy them. It stuck very closely to the book, which, to be honest, wouldn't have bothered me too much had they not. I was expecting it to be very disappointing, which I think is why I enjoyed it most, possibly. Because I don't like when they split the final book into 2, like with what they done with Harry Potter. I absolutely despise the Deathly Hallows Part 1. Could not stand it.
Well, they have a curse now, don't they? They refer to it as the curse of the Part 1s. It happens with all these series that are broken down.
Yeah, I actually despise the Deathly Hallows Part 1. Could not stand it at all. I thought it was so slow, nothing happened in it. I was bored the entire movie. But then Part 2 had loads of action, and I really enjoyed Part 2 of the Deathly Hallows. So I was expecting that again with Mockingjay. And there wasn't much action in it at all. But what was in it, all the political stuff and the propaganda, and it was well acted enough that I was invested in it from the start, and there wasn't one point in the movie where I actually was bored. My least favourite of teen movie of 2014 was The Maze Runner. I don't think it was a bad film, but at the same time I don't think it was great. I think it could have been better, and I just don't think it holds to the same standard as the likes of the Hunger Game franchise. So, Graham, we'll go to you, seeing as Ali was trying to review a trailer last time, so he's getting punished.
He's being punished, yeah. Well, I'm going to disagree quite strongly with you here, I'm afraid, Ryan. I would say my favourite of the year is The Maze Runner. I don't think it's great by any means, but there was nothing outstanding to beat it in my view. So yeah, I can't wax lyrical about how good it is because I don't think it's that great. it was the best of a poor selection this year, or at least a poor selection that I've seen. There could be great teen movies this year that I haven't seen, actually. But yeah, of the ones I've seen, The Maze Runner is probably the best. I was going to say Hunger Games is the worst, actually. I'm not going to. But just for a second, I think it was very disappointing, part one. Part ones always seem to be pretty poor. There was no excitement in it at all. It was the boring part of the book, which you knew was going to happen, given that it was part one. Nothing wrong with the acting, like Ryan says. The actors were great, but they didn't have much to work with, in my opinion. But the worst film in the teen genre, for me, was The Book Thief.
I did not see The Book Thief.
Well, I was taken to see that by my girlfriend because she's read the book. It's a young adult novel by an Australian author. And it's about a girl during World War II who hides a young Jewish man in her cellar. And she likes to read books, and she steals books, and he helps her, and she looks after him.
Your girlfriend or the character?
Yeah, that would be the character this time. I'm sure she did something similar. But yes, I just thought it was kind of caught betwixt and between. It was young adult, but it was set in a very serious time, very very dark subject matter, and it had a chance to be a really kind of serious grown up teen movie, if you like, but it bailed and got caught in between. It wasn't adult and it wasn't child. It seemed to be trying to appeal to everyone and ended up appealing to no one, in my view. So I was very disappointed by that.
Okay, Ali.
Yes. Well, like I say, I didn't see an awful lot of films last year. For teen comedy-wise, I'm going to agree with Graham and say that my best teen comedy of last year was actually The In-Betweeners 2. I don't need to say very much because you covered it all pretty much, Graham. But
my apologies.
It's all right. It's okay. I can round it off in a winner that, for comedy-wise, it was definitely the films that stood out last year and made me laugh.
I don't know if I'd really say The In-Betweeners is a teen movie. Would you think?
Awkward.
Yeah, I'm not really thinking it as a teen movie. But okay, Ali, well, right.
It did occur to me to name In-Betweeners as a teen movie, actually. I know it's not teen in the sense that you're thinking more young adult, I'd imagine, Ryan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, in terms of, American Pie was a teen movie. You would definitely call that a teen movie.
I suppose I'll give you that, but I don't know why American Pie feels a bit more teen movie-like than The In-Betweeners does. I don't know why. It's maybe just because The In-Betweeners is a British film and we've got a very different sense of humour to the Americans, and it makes our movies feel different as well. So even like the American Pie and The In-Betweeners have a very different feel to them, even though they're both comedies. Set
about the same thing as well.
Yeah, basically.
Guys trying to lose their virginity.
Yeah. But okay, we'll move on. Ali, what's your least favourite?
My least favourite was, I'm afraid, I don't have one because I didn't see. Like I said, I did not see
again.
many of them.
You're bailing.
No, I'm not bailing.
Again.
I'm not bailing again. Unfortunately, it's just 2014 was not the best time of year for me to see films. I'm afraid I started off really good at the start of the year, but
I would like to point out to anyone listening to us that Ali did not point out to us beforehand just how few movies he had actually gone to see in 2014. But okay, we will move on.
He lied his way into this podcast.
He did. He tricked us all. Well, right, Ali. Well, next question then. What do you think was the most disappointing movie in 2014?
The most disappointing.
Yes.
Right. Okay. That's. I'm going to say A Million Ways to Die in the West. Actually,
Okay.
the reason why I say that is because Seth MacFarlane was coming off strong from Ted, and everybody thought, "Oh, he's wrote in magic again." When we're all hearing about it. And as soon as we saw the trailer, it was enough to say, this isn't even worth the paper it's printed on. I just thought it was one of the worst.
Graham, what do you think was the most disappointing movie of 2014?
I missed these paper trailers. I'm devastated.
That's what you're most disappointed about.
That's what I'm most disappointed about.
You never saw the paper trailers.
Right, sorry. Yes, I'm well, obviously the 5 genres we mentioned, the worst ones, I could name any of those 5, but in the interest of saying something different, I could go with Dracula Untold. Okay. I was quite looking forward to seeing a new Dracula movie. There's been a few good ones. There's been quite a few terrible ones.
There's been more terrible than good.
Yes, I'll agree with you on that point. And this one, it's not terrible. I'm certainly not saying that, but it's just disappointed me, and that's what you're looking for. My most disappointing movie. I was hoping for something better.
Okay, well, I will say Interstellar I found the most disappointing movie of 2014. I expected quite a lot from it. I love Christopher Nolan as a director. I've seen all his movies except his first film. And I really like everyone I've seen. I thought everyone was fantastic. I will say the first 3/4 of this movie I absolutely loved, but I felt like the ending was ridiculous. I just didn't like it. It's like he threw science out the window for the end of this film, when through the rest of it was so heavily based in science, it just really annoyed me. I know Graham disagrees with me on this.
Yep.
But, we all have opinions. So now we will talk about who we think delivered the best performance in a movie in 2014. So we'll start with you, Ali. Who do you think delivered the best performance?
Actually, the best performance in a movie for me was the main actor in Guardians of the Galaxy that done Star-Lord.
Chris Pratt.
Yes, just for what he did for the film. I just thought it was absolutely brilliant. Okay,
Graham, who do you think delivered the best performance in 2014?
Well, I apologise now for massacring his name, but it's as far as I can tell, it's Chiwetel Ejiofor, who is an English actor who was in 12 Years a Slave, which was one of my favourite films of the year. It was an extremely kind of heavy subject matter, a lot of pressure on his shoulders, given that his character was a real-life character as well. And I thought he was magnificent in that film, and unlucky to miss out on the Best Actor Oscar.
Was that not from 2013?
No, checked it this week. Yeah, it was start of January, as was Wolf of Wall Street.
Ah, fair enough. Right, well, I will say I think Shailene Woodley gave the best performance of the year in The Fault in Our Stars, where she plays a 17-year-old cancer patient who falls in love. The movie. So
that was your favourite performance, but you would choose Hunger Games as your favourite teen movie?
Yes. I think Hunger Games was a bit more. I don't know. I could watch Hunger Games more often than I could watch The Fault in Our Stars. I think I found the Hunger Games.
Because you just can't cry that much.
Yeah. I've not got that many napkins or tissues or whatever people use to wipe it up. No, I'm partial at using my T-shirt. But yes. I think it was the best performance, although I don't think it was the best teen movie. However, I do think her performance was absolutely outstanding, and I think she's one to definitely watch out for in future. She's still very young. I think as she gets older, she will pretty much be the shit. So we're going to move on to our not shit. This shit.
I'd love to see that in the Oscar introduction or something.
Yeah.
This actress is the shit.
I would watch the Oscars every year if that was going to be how they introduced them. Please welcome to the stage the shit. Right, we're going to skip to our final topic this evening. We're running a bit short for time, so we're going to try and do this quite quickly, and we're going to talk about our top 5 movies that we are looking forward to seeing in 2015. And if you guys don't mind, I will start. I'm just quickly going to run through them. The first movie I am like exploding to see is Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I don't think that is a surprise to anyone. I can't wait for it. The second movie I'm looking forward to seeing is The Avengers 2: Age of Ultron. I absolutely love the first one. It's arguably the best superhero movie ever made, and I cannot wait for the sequel. The third movie I'm looking forward to seeing is the next installment of James Bond, Spectre. I love the Daniel Craig Bonds, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing this. Then we have the final chapter of the Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 2. And finally, I'm looking forward to the new Ron Howard movie, In the Heart of the Sea, which is basically based on the true story that inspired the novel Moby Dick. Ali, what 5 movies are you most looking forward to in 2015?
I'm actually co-ed with you, Ryan. I am so looking forward to The Force Awakens when it comes out in December. Trailers just stole it from me completely. Sold it to me, I should say. I am also looking forward to The Avengers 2 myself as well. And the other films I'm looking forward to is actually Pitch Perfect 2. The reason for that is I just thought the first one was, yeah. Honestly, I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of that film, and I'm also looking forward
why not?
to.
Anna Kendrick has got it going on, isn't she?
She has actually, yeah.
You mock, but she totally does. Yeah. You're not alone there, Ali. I like Anna Kendrick. So.
I like her too.
I'm looking forward to Jurassic World as well.
Nice.
I want to see where they're gonna go with rebuilding the franchise, basically. And the last film that I'm looking forward to is actually Terminator Genesis, because this is another reboot of the franchise as well.
It's a reboot / sequel. It's a strange one.
Yeah.
But
I want
X-Men
to see.
Started something really annoying here, I think, hasn't it?
I think they have. Yeah. I just want to see where they're gonna go with this.
Okay. That's all reasonable answers except maybe Pitch Perfect. But okay, Graham, what are the top 5 for you?
My top 5. You might be quite surprised, I should say, that Star Wars is not in there for me.
Okay.
That's not to say I won't go see it, of course, but the last 3 have kind of dampened my enthusiasm. Hopefully this will be great, but you never know. But I do agree with Ali and Ryan on the Avengers. That's definitely in my top 5 for all the reasons you guys mentioned. I agree with Ryan on 2 more, and that's Spectre, because the last few Bonds have just been getting better and better, and this I'm just hoping this is going to be fantastic, hopefully. It's great to see, with a bit of luck, Blofeld back.
Fingers crossed.
And Hunger Games is the other one I agree with Ryan on. Which, Ryan and I have read the books, and I don't know if you have, Ali, but the end of the final book is, if they do this film right, it's going to be spectacular, it's going to be brutal, it's going to be harrowing. It's just, there's no mercy on killing off major characters and things in Hunger Games.
There really isn't, and like I mentioned when I was talking about part 1, the cast is so good in it. How can you not look forward to that cast returning?
And being killed.
And being killed, yes. We're like, yes, you get to see great actors die. But, sorry, continue.
All of Ali's list, apart from Pitch Perfect, I'm interested in, but not in the list. My other 2 would be Everest, which is a movie out next autumn, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, who's on a bit of a hot streak just now, making really good films. And this is one, obviously. It's about guys. I think it's based on a true story. I'm not entirely sure, but I think so. About guys climbing Everest, and it's supposed to be the same kind of thing as Vertical Limit, but actually good, which would be. It certainly intrigues me. I want to see it. I'm quite excited for that. My fifth and final film is Entourage, which I didn't even realise was coming out this year until I was doing a research of films this afternoon in preparation for this, and so it's out on June 19th. I've been waiting to see this film since I started watching the TV show and heard that there was going to be a movie. It's been talked about for so long that we thought, a bit like 24, the movie was never going to happen. But apparently it has, and I am looking forward to it, to say the least.
I 100% agree with that. I cannot wait to see Ari Gold making racist, sexist and homophobic comments on the big screen. It's Jeremy
It's
Piven
the main flaw, it's
owns
just not
that
loud
part.
enough on the television.
Yeah, Jeremy Piven owns that role, and I love the TV series like you did. I even got my brother into it, and I reckon everyone should watch it, and everyone should go see this movie, because it was fantastic. But, right, that's actually all we've got time for tonight. So I'd like to thank yous for watching us or listening to us here at the Movie Geeks Point of View. Hopefully you have stuck around and listened to the whole thing. If not, shame
They probably
on
won't
you.
be watching us.
No. But it's I've been your host, Ryan Martin. So it's a goodbye from me. It's a goodbye from Ali.
See you later, guys. Take care.
And people aren't going to be able to see him salute, but he did it anyway. And it's a goodbye from Graham. And he doesn't even say goodbye, he simply waves. That's for all you people with fantastic hearing, daredevil kind of senses going, you heard that happening.
I couldn't resist, I'm sorry.
Could not resist. Before we go, I'd just like to give you a wee line up to what we will be doing in 2015. Expect some videos from us. We will be doing a video entirely dedicated to Spectre, the new Bond film, where we will discuss past Bond films, all the Daniel Craig ones, what we would like to see in Spectre, etc. We will also be doing a video for Star Wars The Force Awakens, most likely some for Avengers Age of Ultron and whatnot, and really just whatever else we feel like putting up. So again, thanks for joining us here. I hope you have enjoyed it. Goodbye.